So in this last part of creating chances or trying to score goals, we're going to have a look at transition moments in many games, stupid mistakes. Certain teams, they look for that the opponent team makes a mistake. One of the examples, of course, is ATK Mohun Bagan, even Northeast United playing on the counter attack. Yeah, and for teams that want to play a build-up, sometimes that is deadly. Let's have a look. So there are so many ways of creating chances, scoring goals, and in the last part we look at transition moments. So let's have a look at example number 1. This is Goa against Kerala Blasters, where you see here a build-up from the back, a team that wants to play football. Rohit Kumar is dropping off and receiving the ball from his center back. And yeah, this is like a simple situation where basically nothing could go wrong. But the key thing is that the opposite center back is opening up, because this is what you do when you play out from the back. So he needs to fully trust that Rohit Kumar will not lose the ball. If he loses the ball, of course the striker will be right away open and able to counter, and that is also what is going to happen. The good thing, what I like here, is that Rohit Kumar is trying to play the ball with his left foot. He's a right footer. This shows confidence. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to play one touch towards the keeper. Now here it comes. So I praise him from one side that he's trying to play with his left foot. An extremely important learning moment for him. I always say, players, the basic technique, you need to be able to control and pass the ball with your left and right foot. This shows he has not enough skill for that at this moment. And while he's playing this ball, the ball, because his ankle is not somehow strong enough, and ends up in the wrong direction. I'm sure if he would have put the ball with his right foot, it would have been okay. But he has the guts to do it with his left foot, because the ball is played on his left foot. And yeah, he needs training there. So all praise to take that initiative. And on the same side, it proves a lot, especially when it comes to basic technique. You need to have a left and right foot development. And this ends, of course, playing a very simple build-up into a goal-scoring chance. Lucky for Kerala Blasters there, they missed this chance and the ball ends up on the post. But it's all about building up from the back. Looks very simple, and then losing the ball because you're opening up the opposite center back, lose the ball and you get the counter attack. Example number 2. This is a very important one. This is from the same game, where Kerala plays against Goa. Here KP is protecting the ball, takes the ball out, so that means there's pressure, he takes it out, well done. Then Vicente Gomez tried to dribble forward, also there he doesn't see an option, he cuts back, but then he plays a square pass. That is lesson number 1 in football: never ever play square passes. It's always backwards, forwards or diagonals, never square passes, because in this case there's always one player looking forward, just out of the sight of Gomez. He doesn't see him to steal that ball. So in one pass that gets intercepted, you right away kill 2 midfielders. And he, I think it's Edebadia, he right away plays the ball forward to the striker and you get the counter attack. There is still time to recover, but what you get in transition moment is that the defensive team most of the time has less players than the attacking team. So in this case here you get a 4 against 2 in the midfield, and the ball is played to Brandon. Then the striker takes a deep run, even Edebadia is close, and at this stage still there is chance to recover this. You get the through pass, and yeah, this is to blame defensive errors, 2 against 1, and somehow still he gets it into the goal. But everything starts from that square pass. So not every mistake means right away that it leads to a goal, but the key point here is that square pass, and then what follows after, yeah, these are still things that should be done in a better way, but all it's about the transition moment. Example number 3, this is Goa against Northeast, where basically out of nothing a goal is born. You see here that Northeast is dropped in, compact, ball is pushed into the box, crossed. You see how dense it is. The left center back Fox, he tried to clear it, the ball just by luck somehow ends up on the side here in this area where it's a 1v1, they need to fight for the ball, and what is important now, counterattacks many times. So in this case for Northeast, the opposite winger, because he defends inside, most of the time that is the guy who eventually gets the ball and the counterattack takes place or gets continued. And I can show that in many examples, but it's a very interesting concept. Now, having said that, if you know these things, then this guy, the left wing back, he can be closer to keep pressure. We'll get back to that in a bit. So now, there on the side, the 1v1 fight is won by a Northeast player. He right away looks up and plays a ball right away forward to a striker. Now we're talking about counter-attacking. It can be on speed, that players go behind the defense, or you have a striker who can hold the ball, and from there you start supporting. And that's the case for Northeast United. We are going back to what I said before, is the opposite winger most of the time will end up having the ball. So the left wing back here of Goa, he should right away check how is the occupation in the back, and I will show that in a bit. So the ball ends up here, we're going forward, he's checking, he sees the striker and he's going to cross, but I'm going to take you one step back. You have here 1, 2, 3, 4 players behind the ball, so that's enough. That means if we're stepping back now, at this moment where I sit, where the ball will go to the opposite winger, that means this guy now, he should have checked how many players are in the back and stayed in his zone. Then he could have keep more pressure on the ball and would have taken out this cross. Unfortunately, you cannot see that in how to call it, more in a movie, or that it's rolling. This are static pictures, but this is an important part. I call that always rest defense while you're attacking. So now this next detail is the cross, or the ball that is going to put inside, is put into space. That is very important. The second thing is that the striker is working off the shoulder of the center back. So the center back, when he looks to the ball, he doesn't see the striker. If he looks to the striker, he doesn't see the ball. So because the ball is played into the zone, you will get this situation. The center back has to follow the ball, and there is a moment there he has to turn. In that turning moment, you will have to readjust, and that is exactly the moment, that makes it so difficult, and this eventually led to the penalty. So there you have it, 3 examples of counter-attacks, simply losing the ball in the back, a square pass, and out of nothing you get the ball, quickly play the ball forward, somebody holding it up, not having your rest defense organized, and that led in this case to a penalty. Alright, see you at the next one.